Ladies and gentlemen, people, listeners of the podcast, we have a special guest today, and his name is
my name is Ryan Matlock.
His name is Ryan Matlock, the entrepreneur. I feel like you should have said that.
I probably should have, yeah. So I guess the reason I didn't is because that's my YouTube persona, and on podcast personas, I'm just Ryan Matlock.
Right. Like, okay, there's one episode of his podcast. It's called The Aux Cable. I'll link it, the website, in the description show notes. And it's known as theauxcableshow.com, and it is a very entertaining podcast that he does with his Canadian friend Matthew. I feel like it's very important to mention that he's Canadian.
Yeah,
I don't know why,
I suppose
but
it's important in a way.
Very important.
Yeah, if you don't, they might think he's American or something. We wouldn't want that.
Oh no, we can't have that.
That would be horrible. That would be the worst scenario that would ever exist ever. But no, I'll link that in the description. And
Thank you.
Why would I have you on a podcast without plugging your podcast? Get it? Plugging.
Oh, it's a pun.
It's funny. It's funny
No.
because it's called the Aux Cable.
Yes.
Speaking of puns, our first topic is puns. So
Cool.
I honestly love puns. Ryan,
You
like puns,
I
too.
love puns more.
fight me. You wanna pun off right now?
We could. What's the topic?
I don't know. Hey Tendo, give us a topic. This was not planned, but
Tendo, give us a beat topic.
I don't know.
Thing.
Small animals.
Small
animals?
Are you kidding me?
oh my gosh, I need to figure something out.
Hold on. I need to use my mouse to scroll over to a different part of the screen.
Gosh, dang it, man! Oh my dog, this is gonna get crazy.
Does a dog count as a small animal? I suppose.
Please.
I suppose it does. I suppose.
Yeah, of course
yeah.
it does.
Yeah.
There's small dogs. There's little dogs.
Yeah. Okay. I thought I could maybe just get rid of your pun, rats.
What the fox are you talking about?
Let's see. Small animals. What other small animals are there? There's a lot, I'm sure.
At least 7.
Yeah.
Are Meeson
or
small,
may-
Tendo? You're the
maybe-
only one that's seen
maybe
them in
you've-
person.
No, they're
Maybe
not.
you've just hogged all of them.
Gosh dang it! I started with a pig pun. Man. you... Fine. Oh man. There's a lot of... Wow. Okay, these puns are no longer very bunny.
Are you saying they bit the dust?
Gosh dang it. Man, Ryan, I'm gonna announce you as our winner.
Woo!
So, pronounce you as the winner, rather. So
Cool.
Ryan, well, here's
I'm
the
honored.
trophy. Imagine I'm handing you this trophy, and it has a bunch of little animals on it. And it says, pun off to 2017 Ryan Matlock winner, Nomich and Supertendoboy podcast.
Wow. This is really truly an honor. I'd like to thank the Academy and as well as my my mother and my father for raising me to be this.
Congratulations.
We're so proud of you.
Thank you.
Noah's so proud of you.
Okay, guys, we need to start a celebration station. That's an inside joke. That people of
An
the Aux
inside
Cable
joke
show
from an outside source.
yeah, from the Aux Cable show. You too can be part of this inside joke.
I
link in
think
the description.
if you're trying to say that it's your inside joke, then that's a plagiarization station.
No,
Get out,
no,
Noah.
it's not. It's not my inside joke. Not even nearly. We only have
People's
like
jokes here and
3,
shit.
and one of them is the fact that Tendo's head or brain is 1.5 times larger than the average humans.
So he's got an inflammation station?
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yes, this is great. I like this. I like this a lot. Okay, so back on topic, puns.
Mhm. Puns.
Yeah, puns. So Tendo, you seem to not like puns because every time I make a pun,
What?
you're really upset by me.
Okay. Well, here's the thing. This is my stand on puns. I think they're obviously clever. They take some wit, but I would argue that I like its use more in like serious like drama. Like I know this sounds weird, but like in a serious context, you can make puns have like two different meanings, like not as a joke, but as like, foreshadowing or storytelling or whatever. But I feel like nowadays, in order for a lot of puns to be funny, someone has to suffer because there's this stigma that they're like bad or like cringy or whatever, even though they really shouldn't be. So I feel like by me not enjoying them, I make them more enjoyable for everyone else.
That's
Well,
so
you
true.
definitely make them more
actually.
enjoyable for me.
I
So,
think that's
yeah.
actually very, very true. Oftentimes, like with comedy these days, the reason the pun is funny is often because people don't like the pun. And like in a TV show, like for example in Steven Universe, Steven's always making these puns and they're really over the top, and then the other person's just like, no, just no. And
Right, and
that's what makes
the
it funny.
joke. Yeah.
It's a joke in itself. It's a joke unto the joke.
Right.
Yeah. One moment. There's a thing that things people say when you make a good pun. I saw this post a while ago. I think it was on Tumblr or something. Yeah, this is definitely Tumblr. And it was shoot, it's not there. Oh, these are just a bunch of really funny puns. My gosh, this is great.
Please do not read them.
I wish I could see
Okay,
what
sorry,
you're
I
seeing
won't.
right now.
Well, you could if no, it's fine.
If I had a teleportation station.
In a teleportation station, you could, or if you had an examination station.
Oh, that's true.
Or who says you have to see it? You can just listen to what he's saying and use your imagination station.
My audio visualization station.
My gosh, this is getting out of hand. Even Tendo's joining it, and he doesn't even know what it is. I could try to explain it, but I'm gonna plug your podcast.
You don't have the
episode
explanation
34.
station.
Ryan,
Let's do that.
this is getting out of hand.
See, people who don't listen to the aux cable are completely lost. They have no idea what this is all about.
Well, like Tendo. Tendo doesn't know what it's about, but he
I don't know
joined
what it
in. So, hey.
I guess it's
Why
pretty
not?
self-explanatory. We just put whatever word ends in Asian next to station,
Yeah.
and it's a joke.
It's a joke. Boom, roasted. That's the thing about inside jokes. I love inside jokes.
Me too.
Because I think that inside jokes are probably like the best type of joke because it's not something that everybody will find funny, but the people who get it find it hilarious because they know the context it came from.
Yeah, it's like it's got originality mixed in there.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of what makes inside jokes funny is the context that it is secret and it's like within a small group. And once an inside joke becomes more than an inside joke and a joke to like everyone, then it's not as funny because you're not in the exclusive little joke club, you know?
Exclusive little joke club?
Yeah.
A joke club.
You know what I mean? Yes.
I'd imagine a joke club is just a club where everybody meets together and then just like brings in all their jokes from the week. That sounds like a great. I'm gonna start a joke club at my local school or library, or both.
I don't know
You
how
do
many
that.
people would show up to that.
Psh, hey,
Follow
jokes
your
on
As a
me.
dreams.
joke, I would not show up.
Wow, I'm offended.
If
No,
it was
I'm not.
local
I'm
to
not.
me, I'd definitely show up.
Oh, really? Wow. Thank you so much, Ryan. I'm flattered. As we're on the topic of puns, not puns, jokes. Well, we were on puns. Now we're on jokes. How do you guys feel about anti-jokes? Are you familiar?
Anti-jokes. Are those?
Yeah.
Is that like a dark joke?
Kind of. Well, an anti-joke is where, a lot of anti-jokes are dark. However, it's not.
Oh, yeah.
Really the
Yeah, I
same
know what
thing,
you're
but-
talking about. Like where
Yeah.
where it sounds like it's going to make a lot of sense because it's some sort of pun, but then it's just really, really true.
Yeah, it's just true. Like, my favorite one is, why don't you ever see hippopotamuses hiding in trees? Because they're really good at it.
I don't know. That one's pretty borderline. A lot of them are I feel like are almost a satire, like on other jokes, like how ridiculous it is, and especially the ones that are darker, where it's like, why couldn't Susie like swing on the swing?
She
set?
didn't have
Like,
any
she didn't
arms.
have-
Because she
Yeah,
didn't have
right.
any arms, yeah. And then
Knock
it's,
knock. Who's there? Not Susie.
not
yeah.
Susie. But I think another one that I really like is very popular. It's what's worse than warming your apple? The Holocaust.
No, no.
Sorry, it takes a very dark turn, but
Uh-huh.
I don't know. I find it funny how like a lot of people don't understand like or anti-jokes or they aren't very familiar with them, but if I would so if I ask you guys what is the most popular joke of all time?
The most popular joke would be the chicken crossing the road one.
Yeah,
Certainly.
and that's an anti-joke.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I find it funny how like the most common joke in all of the universe probably, unless other galaxies have very popular jokes that are more popular than ours. But I don't know. Maybe they're like, hey, why did the UFO cross the galaxy to find life? I don't know.
It's so funny.
It's funny because it's probably true.
It's funny
because
it's true. Yeah, I've heard that.
Maybe. Yeah. You mean you've heard people say it's funny because it's true?
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah,
think
it's
that's
from
something.
VeggieTales. In one episode, they say it. So I've heard.
Really?
It. Yeah.
Huh. VeggieTales is good. I like VeggieTales.
They've got some good jokes. Like there's
Yeah,
a
they're
joke.
hilarious.
There's a joke in the Duke and the Great Pie War that I find extremely hilarious, where they're walking down the street and like they're in the age of knights and everything, and they're walking down the street and this guy is playing a guitar and it's like and then Larry says that's a catchy tune, and Bob says it's that new surf music. And it's funny because of surfs in night times.
Yeah,
That's great.
And
like
none of
that.
the kids get it.
That's
exactly.
wonderful. I love that.
Which is actually kind of true. Like, it's actually kind of true with anti-jokes. I wonder if that's the reason people don't get it, is because the chicken crossing the road joke, that never made sense to me as a kid, but all the adults told it. And they were like, this is the funniest joke ever. And I'm like, I don't get it at all. This is the 10th time I've heard it, and I still don't get it.
Well, what's funny about that joke is the fact that I've never remembered a time where I didn't know that joke. I've just always known it, you know?
You ever wonder who was the first person to ask that joke? Or to tell that joke?
There's a video on that. Fairly certain is like a medieval, I think, like literary, like, no, it wasn't even used in the context of a joke, I don't think.
Huh.
I don't know.
Interesting.
No, I was gonna say how truth makes jokes funny in like two different ways. Like you said, like anti-jokes, like it's blatant and it's real and it's not actually a joke. It's not a pun or whatever, you know. And then because it's funny because it's not a joke. But then also, I'd say like what we consider like relatable humor or like things like regarding things close to us. I can't think of any examples. They're funny to us because we can relate to it. Like bad things that happen to everyone are funny because we all know what we're talking about, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense. And also, I think there's the thing about an anti-joke is the fact that there's like kind of an unexpected shock. Like, what? Wait, no, that actually makes sense. That what? Well, there's also another one that doesn't actually make sense. And it's, what does a bike and a duck have in common? Both have handlebars except for the duck.
Yes, the except for one's goodness.
Yeah, those are a whole genre of
Ooh.
A class in and of themselves.
Pet peeves. I had to write an essay a while back on my pet peeves or just one pet peeve and write about it. The thing is, I couldn't think of any. I couldn't think of any for the life of me. But now that I'm older, I have so many. But it is difficult to come up with pet peeves. So, do you guys have any pet peeves?
I don't think there's a human being that doesn't have a pet peeve. Unless they're very, 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 very patient.
Okay.
Well, so like I have Hobbs, my cat, and then there's the other cat named Peeves. And that's my pet peeves.
Do you actually have another
I
cat
don't.
named
I
Peeves?
really wish I did though.
You need to get on that. Get another pet peeves.
I wanted you to have a pet peeve so bad.
And Hobbs, I don't know if you ever mentioned this in the video, so I forgot. Hobbs is named after Calvin and Hobbes, right?
He is, yes. I think it
Okay.
might have come up in a Q, Ryan, like my Q&A show, but otherwise I don't know if it's been mentioned. I think I just let people assume that, and they're right.
And they're right. Well, I can't think of any other famous Hobbs, so Tendo, do you have any pet peeves that?
I'm trying to think of them right now. Well, there's like the basic like I don't know, like bodily function ones that like a lot of people don't like when you chew loudly or you gosh, I'm trying to think of something. I can't think of anything right now because I'm not annoyed. I'm trying to think of what annoys me.
If it helps, I could answer the question while you think about it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So Ryan, what are your pet peeves?
Yeah, so I don't actually have a whole lot of pet peeves when it comes to like little things like body functions like chewing or anything. Those don't actually bother me. In fact, like I don't even have an issue if like someone's picking their nose in public or anything. My issue tends to have more to do with the way people work. And it's very interesting. It's just because I guess I'm in a way spoiled because I feel like when you're at a job, your responsibility is to do your best at that job, and that means putting on a good face for customers. It means being extra hardworking. And my pet peeve generally comes into play in any situation where I see the opposite, someone being a bad worker. When I was working at Chick-fil-A from May 2015 to May 2016, there was a lot there. I had a lot of different. There were a lot of different employees, team members at Chick-fil-A that I had pet peeves with all the time because like one of them would badmouth customers in front of customers, saying things like, "Oh, they pulled up to the drive-thru and they didn't know what they wanted to order. That just ugh." And I'm like, "They're standing right there."
That's horrible. That's just being a bad human being.
Yeah, that too, I guess. And other things like these days, I don't work at Chick-fil-A anymore, but I still really enjoy going there. But having worked there, both as an employee, or just as a regular team member, and as a team leader, I know how things are supposed to be run, which means that when I go into a Chick-fil-A, I'm able to spot like maybe 10 things, in very rushed circumstances. Like where it's very busy, I can generally spot like 10 things that are out of place. Like, oh, they're not doing this right. Oh, no. If it was my Chick-fil-A, we'd have done this. And
if it was my Chick-fil-A.
It's half pet peeves and half just OCD in a way.
Yeah. So your pet peeve is people not doing things correctly.
Well, or not necessarily not doing things correctly, but when it comes to work, not taking the initiative to do them correctly.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a lot of people are like that, especially if you're more of a natural leader and you see people doing that. You feel it kind of like infuriates you a little bit, but there's nothing that you can do if you're not in the position of authority. But yeah. Tendo, are you ready with yours, or do you want to keep thinking?
I don't know.
Okay.
I kind of realized a lot of my pet peeves are things that I do that I hate, like about myself. Like a lot of, I don't know. Maybe this is a thing that other people have, but like a lot of specific flaws that like I don't have won't bother me because for some reason I'm like okay with that because I don't understand their situation. But like you were talking about work, and that reminded me, I hate when people have a lack of initiative. Which I have a lot of problem with, like you said, talking with customers. Like I am scared of people, but when I see like one of my coworkers or even just where I'm at, somebody who's like unsure of themselves, I'm like not understanding. I'm like, do something. It's your job. I guess just being a bystander. Like my pet peeve is people not doing things. I want people to do things. If they don't like things the way they are, I want them to do something. And inaction is like, it irks me. But I'm so guilty of it. I don't know.
Yeah, so you guys have similar things. I feel that way too. But I'm not going to mention that because I kind of already just did. But do you have more pet peeves, or?
I'm thinking, I'm running a blank.
Okay, I'll share mine then. So I think my biggest pet peeve is like people grammatical errors and people not capitalizing sentences, not using commas when they should, and oh gosh, people. I text with a lot of different people, and some of them have like good grammar and they put the proper punctuation and they do all that. They need a punctuation station is basically what I'm saying. And so
and a capitalization station.
yes, exactly. They need those to help
They need to
their
go
grammar.
back to their education station.
Okay, but yeah, I think that's like the biggest thing. And when people mispronounce words or well, sometimes words can be pronounced multiple ways. Like the word niche can be pronounced in either both niche or niche, which I discovered when listening to your podcast, Ryan.
We
I
did
Googled
discover
it,
that it's actually niche.
but I Googled it like after listening to it, and so if you go to define niche or niche, it has two pronunciations, and one of them is niche and the other one is niche. It has a comma in between them, so I guess they're both applicable or both
I think that
allowed.
One is more. If I remember my facts correctly, one of them is more specific to a different region of the world. It's like niche is American, and then the lines sort of skew with Canadian, and then Europe and things like that. So they've got those
That
two,
makes sense.
and so depending on the source you go to, sometimes it just has niche, which like for example, I think American sources sometimes it'll only have niche.
Interesting. Yeah. So I think that, well, there's also the word homage, which people pronounce homage, and I just Googled it, and it says that it's pronounced homage, but that sounds stupid.
Oh.
And so I just pronounce it homage because that's just the way that I like pronouncing it. It sounds nicer. If you guys
Rolls
are
off
familiar
the
with the
tongue.
word. Yeah, homage. And then also the word angst is actually pronounced angst. But
What?
people pronounce it angst. Angst.
What?
Define angst. And then if you go, it has a little tiny thing. Angst.
Angst.
You guys have learned some new things today.
Is that the only
So-
the only pronunciation?
Yep, that's the only proper pronunciation. Yep. You need a pronunciation
way.
station, Ryan.
That's crazy.
Psh. And now you know.
The
So-
more you know.
Da da da. I could play that tune, but I'm just gonna keep that there. So I think that grammatical like that's the thing that I've learned to just let it go, but it still kills me inside every time I see an unpunctuated block of text.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's horrible. I hate it. And also, I don't know, mainly just that, but I think that's my biggest pet peeve. And like 3 years ago, I was not 3 years ago, before middle school, before I had really gotten into writing grammatically correct and stuff, I had written some stories, and I should bring them out on the podcast sometime. I could bring them out right now. Yeah, I'm a bring it out. One moment, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Whoa. Well, I am looking through a list of pet peeves of various pet peeves that many people have, and
You
I am
Googled
relating
a
to.
list of pet peeves.
That is how desperate I am. I actually even did research before this, trying to find pet peeves of my own, but I can still only think of one. Most of these are like really, really nitpicky, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
I would hope nobody has these.
Like what?
Hold on here. People who keep their last name a secret. People who say no problem or no worries instead of you're welcome.
Well, see, I say my pleasure because I was a Chick-fil-A employee.
Like they're okay. People that scuff their feet as they walk.
Oh yeah, that is a little bit annoying sometimes.
Hold on. Some of them I can understand. The left, when you're like people are on the right side of like the sidewalk, or I guess I can understand that. People that interrupt you. I mean, I guess nobody wants to be interrupted. A lot of these have to do with driving or public transportation. a lot of them are just like not being understanding, just people living their lives and like, no, or like people who say excuse you but they shove past you, or like.
Are
Some of
you?
them are just
Is this a list that
general.
you found on the internet? I'm back.
I'm going
Welcome
through a
back.
list. I can't find anything.
Yeah, I couldn't find the papers. I don't know where I put them. They're from like 4, 5. How old am I? They're probably 5 years old now.
Well, how old are you?
2012. I'm 16.
Okay.
I'm probably 5 years old. Like,
I was gonna say no. I don't know if I'm comfortable doing a podcast with a 5-year-old.
oh no, I'm not. No, I'm not 5 years old. Maybe you don't know. You don't know me. You don't know my true identity.
If
Except
so, it's going
you
to be
do,
really
because-
interesting when your voice goes through puberty.
Oh gosh, yeah, man, it's the worst. Well, actually, I started my YouTube channel pre-puberty, and so you can watch my older videos, and they're so high pitched and it's horrible. You can also watch Tendo's videos like that too.
Ooh.
Pretty great,
Yeah.
great stuff.
My old YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure I started it past puberty, but my puberty so far as my voice changing was weird because I never had that, oh, his voice is cracking, and then like a month or two later, okay, now his voice is deep, or anything like that. It was more it was just over time my voice got deeper, never had the awkward cracks in the voice or anything. And you can go back to the old channel, and since I made videos sort of like semi on a consistent basis since I was like 16, more so after I was 18, you can see the progression of my voice. It's
Yeah.
kind
Yeah.
of
Fair enough.
interesting.
You can definitely hear the progression in my voice. A while ago. Now I only post a video every 5 months, but that's irrelevant.
Well,
but,
you got a
hey.
podcast, so
I do have a podcast, and I've been uploading
Content's
those
content.
on YouTube. So, yeah, and I can get that sweet, sweet YouTube Red money with all that watch time that I'm getting.
right, because right now you're just letting all of the content that you've created simmer and rake in the views.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. But I'm uploading like between an hour and hour 20-minute podcasts every 2 weeks, and that's pretty great. Except I can't actually get money because I'm not 18 years old. But
Yeah.
hey, whatever. Screw AdSense money. I don't need that.
Well, see, I'm older than 18, so I'll just put ads on your website, and then I'll get the money, and then I'll give you a cut later.
Oh wow, that sounds like a great deal. Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah, no problem.
You know what? I just need to get a monetization station.
Yeah,
so I can
you do.
start making money from my. From... Oh gosh. Okay. So pet peeves.
Wow.
That was fun.
Oh,
Okay.
well, I guess I could say my only other pet peeve would be disingenuine.
Yeah.
Disingenuity? Is that? I don't know how to say it.
Disingenuity. Maybe
We need a pronunciation station.
being disingenuine. Disingenuous.
Being
Disingenuous
disingenuous.
No, well,
in a noun.
Well, yeah.
Form.
Disingenuous. Yeah, that's the adjective. Disingenuous.
No, I know the adjective, but what's the noun? Like, what is?
Disingenuation station.
The noun would be, you are, or wait, do you mean the adjective?
No, we just covered the adjective.
Wait, what would? How do you use a noun to
Disingenuous.
describe? Or let's see.
Disingenuous? That's what I'd say. That would make sense. I'm gonna Google it.
I was
Define
gonna say ness.
disingenuine. That's not how you
Ungenuineness.
spell that at all.
Ungenuineness.
Did you mean define disguise? No, I did not mean that.
There it is. Disguise. There's disingenuous and disguise.
Disingenuity.
This is-
Gosh. What
That's
I
it.
said.
That's a terrible word. Who
Hold on, let me.
creating these words was like, you know what? That's a good idea. I like that word.
They are probably Latin.
Or the other word. Have you guys ever heard the word imperturbable? It means
I
you
have
cannot
now.
be perturbed. It's like if you're kind of like a stoic, you're here. Let me imperturbable. See, welcome to our podcast where we teach you new words. Unable to be upset or excited. Calm. So,
We could
That's
make a
what
podcast where we just Google things. Oh wait, that's called the aux cable.
Boom.
But ting. It's funny because it's your podcast. Link in
'Cause
the
it's
description
true.
show notes. Yeah.
It's funny because we're making fun of you.
Ha!
I'm kidding.
Hilarious. Everybody
Um,
knows that people insulting people is funny.
That's right. Humor derives from pain.
Yeah, it
Not
does. You're
always.
right. As we discussed earlier, it's funny because you get upset by the puns.
Or the
So-
anti-jokes.
Or the anti-jokes, exactly.
Like, a lot of times you gotta be the fun killer in a circle in order for jokes to be funny, or else everyone's absurd, and then it's just not fun anymore.
Mm-hmm. True. That was a really good realization station.
Yep, it's like three's a crowd unless one of them cannot laugh at the puns, in which case it's a party.
That's a good wisdom. I'm gonna put that on my wall. Make an inspirational quote poster.
Stick that on your lunchbox.
Inspiration station.
Oh my gosh. That was a pretty good inspiration station. Okay, we need to move to our next topic. We need a transition
Cool.
station. That was bad. Dang it, transition station? That doesn't work. I was thinking in my mind it worked, but it doesn't.
Transitionalization station.
How about a
Transitionalization?
rotation station.
Okay, so here it says that it's a secret game. None of you guys know this. I mean, a special game. So, we're going to be playing
It
a
actually
game.
says an special game.
Oh, that's because I said, before I said special, I spelt an unknown game.
Oh,
And
I
so,
see.
but I was like, I know it, so it's not unknown. And then I forgot to change that because I was in a hurry.
I did have something to say real quick about the pet peeves, like just as a last.
Oh, yeah,
thing.
okay, go for it.
Yeah. So as Tendo was saying, he noticed that a lot of the pet peeves that he has are things that he struggles with himself, and it's actually interesting to note. I think the Inner Tube podcast talked about this once, where it's actually interesting that a lot of the things that you hate most are the things you hate about yourself.
My
So
gosh.
I just think that's kind of funny how with Nomich, your pet peeve is when people mess up on spelling or punctuation or things, and
Or how you
and
just pronounced my
this,
name incorrectly.
and this.
That was kind of annoying. I don't know if you did that on purpose, but if you did, clever. If not, then dang it, Ryan.
maybe
It's
I did,
fine.
maybe I didn't.
Get over it,
I don't know.
Nomich.
The world may never know. How many licks?
You'll never know.
How many licks does it take to get to the center of the Tootsie Pop?
2,416?
Wow, actually, you're right. Man, I guess the world will know someday.
Is that actually the
Yeah.
official number?
No.
I don't know. No. Some
No.
university did a study. It's 2,400 something, I think.
Oh,
That's
okay.
that's funny.
I don't know.
The Nomich and Supertendoboy podcast, sponsored by Tootsie Rolls. Tootsie
No.
Pops.
No, we're not getting sponsored by anything that is making people put sugar into their bodies.
Only Audacity, right?
Yeah.
Only Audacity.
And
Sponsored
You can
by
put
Audacity.
into your body. I don't think that'll kill you.
Well, to be fair, it's putting audio into your body.
That's what I'm saying. Into your ears. You should
Yeah.
be fine. As long as
Maybe.
you don't turn it way up. Don't
Then
give
your
yourself
ears
hearing
could
loss.
potentially bleed. In that case, that's your fault, not Audacity's. Don't sue them.
It's untested.
Audacity, a great program. Link in the description, show notes.
Were we gonna play a game?
We are going to play a game. Okay, so I was listening to Ryan's wonderful podcast, The Aux Table, and he mentioned Questions Only, which is a wonderful game that's very entertaining to watch and listen to. And I was like, hey, we could totally play that on the podcast with 3 people. And so I went on the interwebs, and I just kept watching a bunch of Whose Line Is It Anyway? And a lot
I
of
was
it
gonna
was...
say.
Yeah, Whose Line Is...
I've seen this game on Whose Line, yeah.
Yeah, it's so great, and it's very fun. So if you guys aren't familiar, well, I know that you are, Ryan, and I'm assuming you are too, because you just said so. It's when we act out a scene by only asking questions, and if you respond with something less than a question, or you don't respond soon enough, then you get buzzed out, which in this case we can't because we don't have a buzzer, but then you get replaced by the next person. So I think what we'll do is we'll have Tendo and Ryan start. I have scenarios right here. I only have 4, but I could find some more if we want to. I don't know how long this will go. And so you guys could start, and then if one of you guys messes up, then I'll come out and replace you guys.
Sounds good. Which one of us will?
All
Which
right.
one of us will be going first in the thing?
Well, I'm gonna
I
tell you
will.
the scenario, and you guys can decide that yourself.
Okay. Do you want to
'Kay.
go first, Tendo?
Of course.
Okay.
Was that a question? Are you starting?
No.
Do you want to go first?
Do you want to go first?
No, we're not starting here yet. Okay.
Why wouldn't I?
My gosh, you're right. Okay. Questions only. Scenarios. That's what I wrote right here. Okay. Secret agents infiltrating an evil mastermind's lair. And scene.
Do you know where the entrance is?
Wouldn't it be at the back?
Didn't you say it was in the front?
When?
Was it yesterday?
Do you know?
Do you know?
Where's my gun?
Where's the explosives?
What explosives?
You didn't know about the explosives?
Did you send me a memo about the explosives?
Did you not see my memo I gave you about the explosives?
Where'd you put it?
Did you know what happened to the door?
Are you ignoring my question?
Do you miss the door?
Do you know where the memo is?
Why are you still on the memo?
Why are you avoiding my question?
How have you not noticed that I've exploded the door?
Wait, am I deaf?
Have you had your ears checked recently?
No, where do I go?
Do you not know where the hospital is?
What hospital?
Have you forgotten about the mission?
What mission?
You guys are the best secret agents ever. My gosh.
Where's Noah when we need him?
We have a Noah on the team?
Where else would I be?
What took you so long?
Didn't I tell you that I was shopping?
You went shopping?
Why are you shopping?
What time is it?
Whose turn is it?
I have no idea.
You lose!
Should we do the next round with all three of us?
I
And
like
then we
that
go
idea. We need to have a general order, but yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
do an order. I'm sorry.
The-
Just kind of.
I think the order would be, it needs to be a spell word. R-N-T. It's not a word, but it's like runt.
Rent.
Runt or rent. So Ryan will start, then I'll go, and then you'll end us off, Tendo. Okay. So this next one is deleted scenes from Star Wars. And go.
Wait, where's my lightsaber?
Whose lightsaber?
What's my line again?
You don't know your line?
Is this actually Star Wars?
Where's Spock?
Who left R2 in the trash can?
We have a trash can?
Is the Sarlacc pit supposed to be filled with water?
Who did that?
Where are we?
Are you wearing the right costume?
What costume should I be wearing?
Am I dressed as Gandalf?
Is there any other costume you have?
Why would I change?
Why do you look like a wizard?
Don't you think he looks pretty magical?
Didn't Obi-Wan have a beard?
Who said Obi-Wan should have a pointed hat?
He has a pointed hat?
I have a pointed hat?
Where did the pointed hat go?
What pointed hat?
I'm not wearing a hat anymore? That was not a question. Dang it, I lost. Dang it, every
Makes
time.
it sound like a question, doesn't it?
It wasn't.
You
I did
just
that
have to-
earlier.
you just have to say it with intonation at the end?
What?
What?
Is that a question? Okay,
That is a question?
maybe? That is a question, though. Okay, so do we want to continue with this? We could choose a different film, and it would just be as funny.
Oh, I don't know. That one, that one wasn't much of a narrative. I think Ryan was the only one really following what each other was saying.
But if
it's a
I
lot
think
harder.
maybe we go back to 2, but
Two?
instead this time, if you feel like your answer is going to be like you don't have a good answer, what if we just do like tag outs and we'll continue the
Okay.
story?
Yeah, let's do that.
And
Let's
like
do
we'll
that.
be like if you're stumbling, you're like Tendo,
Then the
take
next-
over.
Yeah, or they'll just take initiative. If
I was saying I didn't even want an order. I wanted to see if we could just go chaos as long as nobody goes over each other.
We could try that too.
Yeah, let's try that. So do we want to move on to the next one? I only have like one more.
Let's try one more.
Okay, so the next one is being at a stranger's wedding or funeral. Which ones do we do? Wedding or funeral?
Funeral.
I feel like both?
Death
Okay.
oh, yes.
Wedding and the
both.
funeral. Okay. I'm going to start. Are the bride and groom dead?
What would make you think that?
Have you not seen the look on their faces?
Is this a wedding and a funeral?
Why was I invited to this?
Why were any of us invited to this?
Do either of you guys know these people?
Do I knew any of these people?
Who thought this would be a good idea?
Want to leave?
Why are we dropping them into a casket?
When did that happen?
Why did it just get silent?
Why do you care?
What makes you think I do?
Do you think this is easy to come up with?
What is easy to come up with?
What else would I be talking about? Should we end this segment?
Yeah.
Who wants cake?
There's cake?
I do.
Oh man, that wasn't a question. Or was it?
Exactly.
Was that a question?
Yes, it was.
Maybe? I feel like the people on Whose Line are significantly better than we are.
Yeah, I
No.
think it works better with two people.
Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause,
definitely.
Like one person will, like, I think what's happening is one person will say something and then I'll get an idea for how to respond.
At the same time, yeah.
And
Somebody
but,
That's
but-
why
but
on-
the problem is that someone else wants to take it in a different direction. So like with
Yeah.
two people, it's
Right.
easier to guide it. What if we tried this segment again with just two of us?
Okay, well, okay, so how it works on Whose Line Is It Anyway is if they don't come up with a question within 5 seconds or they don't answer in that time, then the next person, like, they opt out and then
Yeah.
the next person comes in. So we could do that.
Let's try that.
Okay, so, do we, I don't have another scenario. We could do,
We could just do this scenario again.
which one, the weddings? The wedding one?
Let's do the
Or
wedding.
Star Wars
yeah.
one. Okay, so being at a stranger's wedding or funeral. Let's just do funeral.
Funeral.
Because that's
Okay.
much more fun. Okay, who wants to go first?
I guess I can go first.
Okay, so Tendo and I can go first, unless
Sounds
you want to
good.
go. Okay.
Yeah,
so
go for it.
If either of us answer with not a question, tell us that, and then inform us that you're doing it now. Or if it
Will
takes
do.
too long, 5 seconds. You can do the counter. Okay. So, who are you?
Do I know you?
Do you know the bride?
Did you bring the barbecue sauce?
What barbecue sauce?
Are you not my partner?
Why would I be your partner?
Are you just a guest?
I don't know. Ryan, you're up.
Why do you have barbecue sauce?
Why wouldn't I bring a barbecue sauce?
Isn't this a wedding?
Isn't there food here?
Is that all you're here for?
Do you not put barbecue sauce on everything?
Do you even know the bride and groom?
Were you invited?
Can't you see the invitation in my hand?
Can't you see the barbecue sauce in my hand?
I return to my original question. Do you even know the bride and groom?
Do you know how good the food is here?
Are you a little bit obsessed with food now?
Have you tried the pork?
Don't you know that we haven't even gotten to the thing that comes after the wedding yet?
Reception?
The reception station?
Do you even know when that is?
Isn't it at 3:30?
I got nothing.
Are you excited for the reception?
What reception?
Didn't you ask about the reception?
Oh, that reception. Are you going?
Are you going?
Do you want to come with me?
Did you bring barbecue sauce?
What is the deal with the barbecue sauce?
Did you see that guy asking for barbecue sauce?
Do you mean the guy who's obsessed with food?
I mean the guy who asked me about barbecue sauce. Did he ask you?
Don't you think that was a nice save?
What did you ask?
What?
What did you ask?
What?
Are you confused?
Do you think maybe we should move on to the reception?
What time's the reception?
Don't you think it's at 3:30?
You should check your invitation.
This invitation?
Yes.
You're out.
You're in.
Where am I?
Aren't we at the reception?
Did I black out again?
You do that often?
Is this a wedding?
Doesn't it look like one?
Why is there barbecue sauce all over me?
You're like a werewolf, but instead of turning into a werewolf and not knowing where you are, you just always have barbecue sauce all over you, as if you killed a barbecued pig. Doesn't make sense.
Do I know you?
Me?
Me?
I don't know.
Should we move on from this segment?
Let's move on from this segment.
Okay.
Oh, gosh.
So, this is going to be a discussion on episode 1, season 1 of Duckman, which is a show that Tendo and I discovered last episode, when by not on purpose, but it was very interesting. I was gonna say entertaining, but I don't know if I'd go that far. So for those who haven't watched it, you can watch it on YouTube in the link in the description show notes, and you can watch it there. You don't have to if you don't want to.
And
really.
for those who want to maintain their quality of life, there's a link to a wholesome video.
yeah. But we promised that we'd discuss it without actually watching it first. So now we have to do it. So I think that the episode of Duckman was, first impressions, I think it was pretty bad and very interesting. What about you guys?
Tendo?
Okay. First of all, I'm going to say there were parts of it that were bad. And at first glance, the way it's animated looks pretty bad. But I actually think it's got some points, some things that I think I mentioned this before we talked about it, like some commentaries, like there's a pretty good fourth wall joke that I enjoy. I don't know, the fake out at the beginning was pretty lackluster. Didn't enjoy it. A lot of the vulgarity or whatever, is unnecessary.
Yeah.
But then a lot of it also works for the jokes. I can't say because I haven't watched any more of it, but there's a lot of characters that seem useless, but then there's a lot of them that are really charming. Like, I forget all their names, but the pig character, and the little secretaries or whatever. Like, I want to see more of them.
Well, you can probably, maybe. I don't know.
I could just watch the rest of Duckman, but I think I'd like to spend my time a little more valuably.
Yeah, watch all of Duckman and then come back to us, Tendo. I will not be joining you on that endeavor.
He'll come back to us like, please stop me from doing this ever again.
Please don't. Why did you let me do this? I've wasted my life away with Duckman, season 1. Oh man. I think that the show is fairly old. It's like 1999 now. It's not like super old, but
it looks like it.
Yeah, it looks like old Nickelodeon, if you are familiar, like Rugrats and Courage the Cowardly Dog. So the entire premise of the first episode is that a bomber is trying to kill him, but he gets. If I'm not mistaken, what I remember is he gets like. He's happy and excited about this because he thinks of himself as a nobody and he's not important, but somebody trying to kill him is like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. That means I'm worth something, right? And so I think that was actually kind of funny. And then at the end, spoiler, he finds out that he was actually not trying to, the guy who's trying to blow him up wasn't actually targeting him because he mistook him for a different duck. So,
because he's that average and common.
He's that average and common.
Man.
Which makes him even less special.
Exactly.
Darn.
There we go. That was Duckman.
Yeah.
I want to say,
no, it's not.
I just think, like, with Duckman, I think they missed a huge opportunity to, rather than calling him a duck detective, just call him a duck detective.
That's what I said. As soon as I watched it, I was like, wait a second. Why wasn't he the duck detective?
That's why he's so average and boring. He doesn't know how to make a pun.
He's terrible, and that's why he's not worth blowing up.
I'd blow it up.
That's how you measure your
I'd
worth.
blow that show up.
Are you worth being blown up? Yep. And if you say no to that question, that means you're not worth anything. Just kidding. We don't want to say that. That's rude.
Yeah, I don't think
you are worth something.
That doesn't sound accurate.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, yeah. That was more of a sarcasm thing, but listener, remember that you are worth something and people care about you. And so what the messages in Duckman are saying, it's only funny because it's not true.
Oh, I think there's a lot of truth in it. I mean, you also have to take into account the audience. This is probably directed to a more adult audience.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
came
yeah.
out in 1994. The main character is voiced by Jason Alexander from Seinfeld. It's not
Oh,
like
he is?
yeah.
Wait,
Oh.
who does Jason Alexander play?
Do you know the bald dude with the glasses from
Yeah.
Seinfeld? Yeah, that's who voices Duckman.
Interesting.
Oh.
That actually
Not
kind of
that
makes
that-
sense in a way.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a little surprising to me. But the character's like very like sarcastic and dry, and I don't know. He works pretty well, except his visual design is very irking.
I find it funny how when he takes his glasses off, he doesn't have any
His-
eyes at all.
His eyes come with
Eyes
the glasses.
are the glasses.
His eyes are the
I love
glasses.
that joke.
It's like we're
Yeah.
living in some post-apocalyptic world where they have eye inserts that don't have to be connected to your body, but at the same time, they've sacrificed so much in deformed duck character something.
Yeah, I think this whole show takes place in some post-apocalyptic thing. Oh shoot. Oh, I liked there was one really funny part where it was saying like today meeting all important world leaders or something, and then it gets blown up. I found that funny. That one I appreciated. I really
Right,
liked that.
There's little jokes like that were really funny.
Yeah.
I'm actually looking through the episode trying to remember. The one where they make a joke about how we romanticize like crime and stuff so much that this cannibal guy, when he gets
Oh,
put
yeah.
into prison, he becomes a celebrity because everybody's so fascinated by how horrible it is.
Yeah. And then he becomes like a millionaire within the jail cell, and he has secretaries and a bunch of people working for him within the jail cell.
Yeah.
I think that's pretty funny, actually. I think
Oh,
as a show, it has a lot to say, and there's some jokes that were funny, but a lot of it was just kind of trying to be funny and not succeeding super well. But I think that the few that we mentioned were pretty great. Was there anything
Right.
that you found really funny, Ryan, or just disappointing, the fact that he didn't call himself a detective?
Well, they did have a pun later, or sort of pun later in the episode where they go up to the attic and he says, "Oh man, this place is a pigsty," and his partner's a pig. He's like, it's just a metaphor."
Yeah, just a metaphor. Yeah, I found that funny too.
Yeah, but the other thing that I found really funny in the episode is that the for the plot, just to explain to the audience that hasn't seen it, they surmise that the reason that he's trying to be blown up is because of some mistake he made in his past. And so he says, "Okay, well, let's go up to the attic. My entire past is in this attic, and I'm going to go through everything and determine what I did wrong to require me to be blown up." And so he's going through these old film reels of home movies.
I was gonna mention this.
And-
Yes.
I was going to
And-
mention that as well.
And each one is actually a parody of some other cartoon. Like they had Popeye, where he's tied to a tree and like his love interest is like, "Hurry, Duckman, eat your spinach so you could be strong and save me." And then he just pulls out cigarettes instead, and that she meets an untimely end. But then they also had things like they had Steamboat Willie, where
Yeah.
Duckman's just like at the back of the boat and he's like, "I want to drive the boat. I want to."
And then he makes a little comment about Mickey Mouse being an actual character in this universe that got famous or whatever.
Yeah. And so like they parodied like 3 or 4 other cartoons in that whole gag, and it was kind of funny how they did that. All of the cartoons, it was like you could tell what it was, but it was also still in a Duckman style,
yeah.
sort of.
It was weird, yeah.
Where like the characters are super skinny or something, and that was a little weird. Like I agree with you that the art style was a little bit irksome. Like they were trying to be unique, but in doing so, they just made something horrific.
Well,
Yeah.
it reminds you of the times. Like when you look at this art style, I can only think like mid like 90s like bad cartoon because it's
Yeah.
so it's cartoony because there's solid colors, but it also has this graininess to it that doesn't need to be there.
It definitely reminds me of like older episodes of SpongeBob, which I honestly think are the best episodes of SpongeBob, and like Rugrats and all those other. Ed, Ed and Eddie is one that I also think fits the art style. I need to see. Okay, where is it actually? Duckman Network. What network was it on? Was it on? It was on the USA and MTV too. So it was. It wasn't on Nickelodeon, but.
Oh no, it was. I assumed it was something like that because it's an adult cartoon.
I think so. The synopsis of the whole entire show, it says a sarcastic duck solves crimes with the help of his pig partner, which I think is a great description. He's very sarcastic, and I think that's why him as a character, he's kind of funny. So.
Yeah, and I do agree. Like the thing at the beginning, the fake out about, like, I think that it was interesting in a way because it fed my expectations. I was like, oh, it's Duckman. He's going to be a superhero or something.
Yeah.
But they broke the fourth wall twice. It was like, he's a superhero. Oh, wait, no, he's a game show contestant. Oh, wait, no, now he's actually just a normal person.
And he's not important at all.
And, like, for the rest of the episode, I was just waiting. I was like, is this actually just a dream from an actual superhero? That he's just normal or something? Or is he still in the game show? Is this part of the game show?
What
is
if
this?
the whole thing was just a game show and it was called Don't Get Blown Up?
And on top of that, like the synopsis for the show, it's accurate, but at the same time, it took so long to get to that within the episode.
Yeah.
It was like, before we can get on to the explaining the fact that they solve mysteries as a pig and duck partner and that he's sarcastic, we have to show the fact that he's got a terrible life and that apparently has terrible dreams. And on top of that, like, it felt like I was already half into the episode before I even met the pig and knew who he was.
Oh, yeah.
So that's the thing.
Who voiced that pig? Greg Berger. I don't think he's in it. I liked his voice. I think it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I loved his voice. Who is Greg Berger? Let's see.
He's in a lot of video games. He was in. Oh my gosh, he was in Despicable Me 3 as additional voice.
Interesting.
He was also in Star Wars Rebels.
Oh.
I think the.
Oh, I know.
You know what?
He voiced Garfield in a bunch of stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think that's where I recognized it. Yeah, like every instance of Garfield, he's voiced him.
Well, his voice fits Garfield.
And then a lot of animated stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of video games. He does a lot of voice work.
Yeah.
Like
Oh my
all of
gosh.
his things are voice works.
He is Garfield. Oh, yeah.
My gosh,
Sick
he's
one.
literally Garfield. And that pig, what's his name? What was his name again?
Detective
I don't.
Pig?
Detective Pig?
I don't know. Pigman?
Oh,
Maybe?
he was also Eeyore.
Really?
In Piglet's Big Game. Yeah, apparently.
Okay, then.
Huh.
He corn-fed pig. That was his name. He was also the oil dump worker, and Paul Golden. Apparently, they're probably less main characters. I want to see an entire series about Oil Dump Man. I think that sounds like a great show. We don't need Duckman. We need Oil Dump Man. Okay, so do you guys have anything else to say? I think that the show, even though not good, it was better than I was expecting it to be, but still kind of not good. But I wasn't expecting it to be good. I think the fact that I had no expectations for the show made it better because there was actually things like the film reel of him history stuff and the
Right.
building blowing up with all the important world leaders. I think things like that were much funnier because I was expecting it to be really bad and just horrible. But I think that I'm still not going to suggest it after watching it. I'm not going to suggest go watch all of Duckman, but I don't know. I think if you want to have an experience, watch the first episode of
One
Duckman.
way to put it.
Yeah.
My final summary would be, it's not bad enough to enjoy ironically in any way, and it's not good enough to binge.
Mm-hmm.
And I think its main problem is its audience is really, really niche.
Niche.
Like, sure.
Dang it! I've
Go
opened a
ahead.
can of worms on this one, haven't I? Now
It's really nicky. I think it appeals to like
It's really Nicky.
people
Sorry.
of the time.
I wasn't expecting that. That was funny.
I don't know. But yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it, to anyone. Not
Yeah.
to anyone. I'm sure there's someone out there that would love it, or has loved it. I don't know.
Well,
Maybe I know
the thing
some
is,
people
it
that
went
love
for
it.
4 seasons, so that means people must have loved it, or some
it must
people
have been
liked
really
it.
good.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it gets
Shouldn't be
better as
so
the series goes on.
You
The
never
only way to
know.
find out is for you, listener, to watch all episodes of Duckman.
Don't.
All right.
That's the only way. Trust us, we will not be watching it, so you can if you want, but I would not suggest it.
We'll be finding
But-
a different animation station.
Oh my, yes! Animation station. Gosh, that's good.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I love this inside joke. I feel like it's gonna become an inside joke based on this episode, but we're not gonna take it because that's like, then I feel like we're gonna have to give you rights to that, even though technically you ripped it off Adventures in Odyssey, but that's irrelevant.
Well, we're referencing Adventures in Odyssey, not ripping
Yeah, I
it
know, I know.
off.
I know, per se. Yeah.
Per se.
Well, I think the reason that it's funny is because of Adventures in Odyssey and the fact that you were
Mhm.
referencing to it, paying homage to it.
Paying
Hey.
homage. It comes full circle.
We were gonna discuss one more topic, but I think I think this is good. We don't
I think
have
it's
to.
a good place to
Yeah,
start.
we'll discuss that on a future episode.
Sounds
So-
good. It's kind of funny. Can I say what the topic is? Because it's actually kind of hilarious. The fact that
What?
we're not talking about it.
Yeah, the
Oh
fact.
my
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Can I say
If
what
you
it
say
is?
it, I'm just gonna censor it out if you say what it is. Yeah, go for
Okay,
it.
so the topic for the next episode is,
Yep.
I fully expect to, when I'm listening to this, hear a huge like "Ee!"
Yeah, we have a special censor sound where it's just my harmonica. And
Yeah.
It's like,
Oh, is that what that was? See, I'd listened to the episode and I thought that was just a transition, but turns out you're censoring whatever's
Yeah.
being said. Okay.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah, and if we ever censor anything, it's for the lulz and not because we actually said something bad, because we don't normally swear, if ever. I never
Good.
swear.
Good for
but,
you.
You know, we talked about that on episode 2 or 3. I don't know.
Yes.
We discussed that. That was a good topic to discuss. But yeah. So, Ryan, tell the people where they can find you on the internet.
Sure.
Right.
My main website, my main hub for anyone to find anything that I do is theryanmatlock.com. So there you
The
can find
Ryan Matlock?
The Ryan Matlock. I couldn't get Ryan Matlock. That's someone else. But yeah, theryanmatlock.com. You can find my podcast and my YouTube channel through there in the top menu bar, as well as just see different stuff that I've created over the years through my work. And I also have a blog. So all sorts of
Yeah.
stuff.
Awesome.
If you want to
And
consume, then that's a place where you can consume content.
Hey.
But yeah, I wanted to say thanks for having me on the show. This was fun.
Thanks for being on the show.
It was a huge joy having you. I'm
Yeah.
sad you have to go now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Me too.
all those links that he had mentioned will be in the description. Go follow him on all the things. His videos are absolutely hilarious.
Thank you.
He does a series called Fantastic Fridays. You haven't done it in a while, but that's fine.
Yeah, I'm
and
trying to get
where
back
he-
into it.
Yeah, they're
Uh.
great. It's fun. I've learned a lot of weird holidays from that. So
Well, good. That's
So.
kind of the point. The reason I make videos or podcasts or whatever I make, I generally try to do what I call innovate entertainment, which is where I combine educating people with entertaining them. Because I see so much content where it's like, oh, this is purely educational and it's boring, or this is
Yeah.
purely entertaining and it's Duckman.
It's
and
Duckman.
like neither of those are good things. And so it's like you got to strike a balance.
Like edutainment, which is a term
Edutainment,
that's
yeah,
been
as
floating around.
Rhett
Yeah.
and Link put it.
Yeah. Oh, did they call it that first?
I think
Did they
that's
coin
where
the
it came
term?
from, yeah.
Oh, okay. Neat. Yeah. So follow him on those things. His podcast is very entertaining. So, and there's a lot of episodes, so you will probably never run out of it. So, go listen to that. It's fun. And so, Ryan, you've listened to an episode or two of our podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So, at the end, you know what's coming next, right?
Well,
Something that Tendo is dreading.
something what?
Something Tendo is dreading.
He's dreading
Yes.
There's something we do at the end of every episode.
Uh-oh.
I read this from this
get on
book,
with it.
Corny Humor.
Uh-oh.
And so it's not bad. It's just I think you'll appreciate it. So I'm glad to have you on the show now, even more. Okay, page 6. Is a dog better dressed in the summer or the winter? He's better dressed in the summer because in the winter he has a coat. In the summer he has a coat and pants. That's terrible.
I
That
don't
one's
get it.
really bad.
I don't. What?
Okay, so
Oh, he
so
pants. Oh.
He pants. Yeah, he pants like a dog
No.
pants. Yeah.
That's great.
My English teacher once told me a joke, and it was, what's the difference between well-dressed man and a dog? And one wears a suit, the other just pants.
Oh my gosh.
And what I didn't mention before is the fact that all these jokes, the font is Comic Sans. So
Wait, is this on a website or a book?
no, it's an actual physical book.
It's a book.
called
Right, okay.
called Corny Humor, published by the National Federation of the Blind. I bet
Well,
that the
doggone
only
it.
reason that the only reason that this got published is because they're going to blind people where they can't read it, and that I just dug it up. I started that in episode 5. Good times.
Very good times. It's a pun almost. Sort of. Corny humor sometimes incorporates puns. Generally.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna read previous ones, but yeah. Thank you for listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
Again, go follow Ryan. Thank you for
Thanks so much.
being on the show. Not having you on the show.
Yeah. I enjoyed my time. Thanks for inviting me.
Awesome.
All right.
It's interesting how Tendo.
Yeah.
I was like, Nintendo. No, that's not his name. Not Nintendo.